Good morning and good evening. Duterte power always support President Duterte. Do the right thing and be safe always. I'm just watching the officials of the implement of universal health care law, which is really cool. I'm so happy with that. I have been making a videos also about that before, and this is exactly what I've been asking also our president to make it legal in our country in the Philippines. So now we having this coming up, and he's signing up the health universal care law for the people of the Philippines. So I'm very happy for that. I'm very proud with it. I just don't know what to say, but so happy to hear that kind of news. And so now the poor people can use the hospitals and go to the doctors and have checkups and do most of everything like that because you know uh, it's hard to live, and then a lot of people doesn't go to the doctors for the reasons of we cannot afford it to go to the doctors, some of them. And for so long, for so many years, I have been seeing people suffering so much back home, and even the people who sleeps on the streets and all kind of stuff, and they cannot go to the doctors because they cannot afford it. And this is so good news for to hear it, and I'm very happy, and I'm sure our poor people will be also happy for this also. I used to see people on the streets. One time I was in the Baclara market. It broke my heart to see that. He was a man. He was not himself anymore because he had like an infection on his arm, and his arm is so swollen up, and he couldn't do anything. You cannot bear the pain this person will have. Because after I was talking to him for 5 minutes, and he was like, the money was not there. He was like he just passed out and things like that. But when I saw that, oh, I give him some money, but of course I'm sure he will not go to the hospital if nobody takes them, because you'll be too expensive to do that. But now, our people can go to the hospital. um, our poor people can go to the hospital. They can now. I know our hospitals is gonna be so busy because we have so much people in pain, and they never check themselves up on their lives. And now, as our president signed this universal health care law, so we're going to be much more busy in our country. Also, what we need exactly is more hospitals. We do need more hospitals, not private hospitals, but we do need government's hospitals, not just for army and police, but we also need government hospitals built, and we need those government hospitals for the people. Not just we have hospitals for the people, we have private hospitals, but private hospitals costs money, a lot of money. For you to a consultation, it can cost you 600, 500 pesos for just a consultation. But just imagine also the if you need medicine, also it costs quite a bit. I do think some of the senior citizens should have free medication. That's senior citizen. They should be able to have health care as everybody else now has for free, but also should have the medication for free also. And the people who contribute and the people who works, which we pay the taxes and we pay national insurance, we should be able to have a bit more benefits. Would be better. Our country in the Philippines would be the first to do this as you work, which this will encourage more people to be okay to pay national insurance numbers and taxes to our country, which it can be used like we do over here, national insurance numbers and tax will be contributed towards the police, contributed towards the cleaning up of the country, contribute for people who cannot afford to buy foods and things like that. Some amount of money can be contributed to the poor people, and the people who does contribute it to the country themselves should have a bit more towards one their pension. They should have a pension. They should have more right and more abilities to use hospitals if they are sick, or when any of their family they were sick. They should be a bit more um, contributed and more look after it, because they are the ones who's paying also towards everything else and to help everyone else. So I do think the people contribute to the country, to the healthcare, should be also able to be having a good medical treatment. And this is really, really what I think. And if our government implies that, that would be really great, because it makes you feel better in yourself when you work. Second, you know you are okay, because if you don't feel well, this and that, you can use the doctors, and you don't have to worry about the costs, because we are already contributing to that towards the medical and healthcare. So this is the most free thing we should have in our life, especially in our country, in the Philippines, which we don't have. So I'm very happy for this news, and hopefully our people also appreciated the news and be happy with it, and said thank you to our President Duterte. This is the most important thing, because he is the one who's creating all this for our people. You know, most of you guys and most of the people going against, oh, the 30 this, the 30 that. But you really don't understand, you know, what he's doing and what he has done to our country. Nobody, no any kind of president we had in the Philippines ever done anything for the people of the Philippines. What they cared about, it was themselves. So now, just remember everything what President Duterte is doing to our people, to our country, and he has done. Okay, just even words cannot even express and comes out of my mouth of the good news, because it makes me so happy with that. So I do hope everyone who's using the healthcare now and um, their families and everything appreciate what our president done to our people, and he made this possible. Did any others done this? No. So please, all I also ask you guys and our people in the country is stop being mean to our president, Duterte. Stop doing that. Different parties is going against our president. That shouldn't. I should, and I know we have a free speech, and our president allow people to do that. But having parties fighting against each other like we have over here in this country, this should be illegal. We can agree and disagree, that's fine. But in the end of the day, we have to come to a conclusion all together and work together to achieve the same goal, not putting the other party, you know, he's rubbish, the other party is this, the other party is that. Working together and coming with conclusions and coming with the solutions together is the best thing. Everybody thinks different, everybody has different ideas, but putting everyone's together can make a better world, a better place, and better life for the people in the country. And the main thing is concentrate in your own country. Stop looking after the other countries outside. This is the most important thing, and that's what our President Duterte is doing. Looking after the people on the Philippines. Looking after his own people, his own country. He doesn't care about outside of what's happening to other countries. And he's right, and I am supporting him 100% on that and proud of that because he's the only president. We don't care what happens outside. What we have so much problems in our country. Why can't you concentrate solving your own problems in your own country and let the other governments on their country deal with themselves? Not like America and other countries get involved in other countries' business. Sort your own problems in your own country. And our president is doing that for our people. He's putting the canal out of our country. He's putting US Army out of our country. Why? Because problem only. And isn't he proving that? Isn't he doing that? Isn't he looking after the people in our country like he promised? Isn't it doing what he said he was going to do? He's doing it. He has done, he's doing it, he's continued doing it. And I do hope we have our president, for so long. I do think we shouldn't have any other president at this moment in time or going into voting after his term. I do think he should continue being the president as long as his health doesn't, interfere with his ability of governing the country, moving the country forward. He should continue being the president, and we should sign and allow him to stay in power as a president as long as he can and as long as his health is fine. We should allow him to do that. And just for the last and cut it off, that I will do another video for that. I'm just happy for these officials to implement the universal health care law to our people. And now people saying, as you go along with news and everything, people's talking about it never being to the doctors because they cannot afford it. Now you can afford it. Now you can go to the doctors. Now you can check yourself. You don't have to worry about if you have money, if you don't have. Even for you to take your children, you couldn't take your child because you cannot afford it. Because we have medicals, they're private medicals, they work for themselves, and they're taking money for themselves as they rented one part of the hospital. And I think it's okay, but in the sense also, it's not that okay. But anyway, Duterte, but all support President Duterte, do the right thing. Happy for this news and continue going on that. But the only thing now we need is new hospitals for the people, government hospitals, and we should build also apartments for the people, but government's apartments, which people can live in it and contribute and pay certain amount every month to the government. We should do this like every other country has. So I do hope this is the next stage for our people, our poor people, to be rehomed and try to take the people out of the streets and rehome them, even if it's a small home, for a place for them to sleep and look after themselves and their children. But for now, very happy with this kind of news. We have free healthcare on the Philippines and all that. Cool. Duterte power, also for President Duterte. Do the right thing. Don't take the piss or don't say bad things about our president, because you guys don't have no right to say any bad thing about him. Because if you see everything what he has been done since he's in president, think about it. No president in the Philippines ever done anything like our president is doing going into 3 years in power. Okay? Peace. Take care. God bless. Mabuhay.